Hey YouTube, it's Tech Tips and Tutorials again with top 10, or not top 10, but 10 tips to keep your computer running smoothly and or being able to multitask easier and faster. One is to constantly defrag your computer. In order to defragment your computer, you go to the Start menu, then Computer, right-click on it, Properties. Sorry, not Properties. Sorry, go to Computer, right click on your C drive, Properties there. Then you're going to want to go to Tools and Defragment Now. What it does is it compresses the files a bit better and separates them so that your hard drive doesn't have to be scanned quite as long. In sense, it will speed up opening files, things like that. Just make sure, you don't have to do it too often, but do it occasionally. You also have Disk Cleanup, which is located in the same spot. You can either, well, it's not in Tools, but if you go to the computer and then C drive, right-click C drive, under General, you'll see Disk Cleanup. This deletes all the temporary files, basically. You just click Disk Cleanup, it'll scan it, and then it will, let's see, it says Scanning Service Backup Files. I'm not going to do it, but after it does that, it'll show you a list of things it could do. I just checked them all. There's really no point not to, because they're all temporary files anyways. It doesn't delete anything that you'd actually use. And then just do OK, and that'll just clean it up so it'll free space. And also a way to multitask a bit easier, get around faster, is to organize. I see a lot of people with their pictures and everything just kind of everywhere on their desktop, while I actually use folders. I've got the games here, and I got the folders, and my pictures are actually in pictures, my music is actually in music, things like that. Organization helps with a lot of things. Another thing to speed things up, which I really don't have any need to, but some people with lower end computers might need to, is turning off arrow effects. You'll notice like the transparency and stuff. Well, one really good program that helps with doing all that and ending services that run in the background that you don't need, it's called Vista Services Optimizer, which is kind of funny because it doesn't just work for Vista. I run Windows 7, and you'll see here Windows 7 Enterprise. It works Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows Vista. It doesn't work with Windows XP, so if you have Windows XP, you're kind of screwed there. But it does work with the other Windows. Another thing is don't run too many apps in the background. As you can see, I have the screen recorder in the background, obviously, and then I have Rain Meter, which I did my previous tutorial on. Go check that out. But you don't want to have like a whole ton of programs running in the background. Like one way to help with that, a lot of programs will start when you first turn the computer on. One way to do that is called msconfig. Just go to Start menu, then in Search, msconfig. And go to that, press enter. This should be what shows up. You're going to go Startup. Some stuff you need to keep checked, but you'll see I have a bit of stuff that doesn't really need to be. Things like Acoso, which I do want it like that, but you don't need it. So you just uncheck all the stuff that you don't need. Security client you're going to want. Java you're going to want, and if you're using AMD, Catalyst you'll want. But, and then of course Microsoft Windows operating system you want to keep on. So be careful what you uncheck. But if it's a program, you know what it is, and you don't care if it's not starting up when you first turn your computer on, make sure to turn that off. Number 7 is updates. A lot of updates help speed things up and improve your security. So even though I usually have mine on manual where you have to update it yourself, just go to Windows Update. You can either go to the control panel, or you can just type in update right here. See Windows Update right here. And no important updates are available. See, but I do have a couple optional updates. So you see, that's one way you can kind of speed things up sometimes. Doesn't always work, but a lot of times updates are speed and security. Next thing is deleting unused items. If you have some programs you don't really use anymore, so occasionally go to Control Panel, then uninstall a program, and look through your programs and make sure there's nothing there that you don't really ever use. Delete stuff like that. It'll free your hard drive space up, and if it's something that likes to run in the background, it'll also speed your computer up. Another thing is keeping add-ons disabled. This is mainly for Internet Explorer only. A lot of different things like there's a lot of different add-ons that sometimes run automatically. In order to disable it, hopefully you're using a new type of browser, but either way it's pretty similar. Tools and then manage add-ons. And this will show up. You got toolbars and extensions. Shockwave, your Flash, Adobe Flash you want to keep on. Adobe Flash and Java, you really don't need to install, you don't need to keep Java on. It'll tell you if it needs to be run and you can just click enable then. But otherwise, keep all extensions and add-ons off. The only one that actually helps is Flash. But all this stuff, I mean, heck, I've got way too much enabled. I can disable that. I don't. Oh yeah. Also, if you have Microsoft Silverlight, don't disable that. You can disable that. Disable that. There's a lot of stuff you really don't need. And then one of the last one is a lot of times people will just keep deleting stuff on their desktop or whatever, and the recycle bin will still be full. Just go ahead and empty that, or it won't be taken off your computer, and you'll still have the exact same amount of space taken up on your hard drive. Just go ahead and right-click on recycle bin. Just click empty recycle bin. And this is just kind of an extra one. I know I said 10, but an extra one just to help with multitasking is you can kind of drag windows around, really any type of window. This is my channel right here. And just kind of drag it to the left or the right. So you'll split it in half. Kind of helps with multitasking because you can just kind of do things multiple at a time. Like say you're reading something and typing something at the same time. Just you can go back and forth real easy. But that's basically it.